Hey, congregation, Pastor Abram here, and I want to share with you what I thought was a minor detail of a biblical story, but it actually is a really big deal. This comes from the story of the feeding of the 5,000. It's actually 5,000 plus, because if you read to the end of the story, it says that was just the number of men, and then there were women and children. So Jesus is with his disciples. They're all hungry. They thought they were going to a place to be by themselves. And all these people show up because they want to hear Jesus and they get hungry. They need to eat. So Jesus takes the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fishes because that's all they have. And before he does this miracle, it says he gave thanks. He gave thanks. This story is in all 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And John says that he gave thanks. And then he distributed the loaves and the fish. And then it became this miraculous event. But that little detail of Jesus giving thanks, I've been reflecting on and realizing how important it is. There are 3 things about this detail that I have been thinking about and wanted to share with you in case this helps you. Number 1, Jesus gave thanks for what little they had. Jesus gave thanks for what little they had. It was just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, which is definitely not enough food for 5,000 plus people. And yet he still gave thanks. Even when God's provision looked like it wasn't enough, Jesus gave thanks to God. So that's the first thing that stands out to me. Jesus gave thanks for the little bit that they had. But second, I think Jesus knew that God's provision was going to be more. I think he knew it would be enough. I think Jesus was giving God thanks not just for the little bit of bread and fish that they had, but I think Jesus was giving thanks in advance for the huge amount of food that it was about to turn into. I think Jesus was thanking God for the provision before the provision actually came. So that's the second thing. Jesus is thanking God for the provision before the provision actually comes. And I wonder if we could do that too. Can we thank God for his provision in our lives before it shows up? Can we thank God for his blessings when they look like they're not enough or they're a mile away? Can we say, thank you, God, when the promise is yet to come, when it's not here yet? Jesus thanked God for the provision before it showed up. And then finally, the third thing about this seemingly small detail, Jesus, when he gives thanks before the miracle, he's giving thanks in public. It says in John that he gave thanks, but Matthew, Mark, and Luke, they all use the word blessed. Jesus blessed God. Jesus spoke well of God. When Jesus gives thanks, he's speaking well of God, and he's doing it to other people. Jesus is thanking God in public and witnessing. He's speaking well of God. That's what it means when it says he's blessing God. He's speaking well of God, praising God where lots of other people can hear it. So I wonder, is there someone that you can speak well of God to this week? Thank God in private, yes, but is there some way you can declare your thankfulness to God out loud so that others can hear? Can you speak well of God in a conversation with somebody else? Jesus giving thanks here, it's just a very short line and looked to me like a small detail of this story, this huge miracle that many of us maybe heard long ago. But I think this detail of Jesus giving thanks before the miracle is important. Because Jesus gave thanks for the little bit of provision that they already had, that means we can do that too. Jesus gave thanks because he knew God would provide even more in the future. And so I think we can pray in faith like that also. And Jesus gave thanks. He spoke well of God in public to other people. And may God give us an opportunity, even today, even this week, to do the same. God bless you and look forward to seeing you soon.